Welcome to UGC E-Pathshala viewers. I am Dr. Shabir Ali, Associate Professor, Head of the Department, LLM and Research Coordinator at VM Salawankar College of Law, Panji, Goa. Today I am going to present to you Module 4, Formal Access to Justice. Today's structure presentation is we are verifying purpose of justice, kinds of justice, and we are mainly concentrating about formal justice system. We are referring to hierarchy of courts, courts at district level, state level and national level. We are also verifying tribunals which are useful in administration of justice, other formal adjudicative forums, and finally remedies available in case of formal justice administration. Learning objectives. After going through this module, the reader will be able to understand the concept of formal justice. He'll acquaint with the agencies through which formal justice is done. To find out the remedies available in case of formal justice. To analyze various methods in administration of justice. To learn about the ways in which remedies are available to the victims. To examine the hierarchy of authorities set up in administration of justice in India. Let us look into introduction. What is the purpose of justice? The main purpose of justice is enforcement of rights of each and every person. These rights are recognized by various statutes or laws which are enforced in the country. These legal rights are ensured to individuals, meaningful only if the individual can effectively assert those rights. When individual suffers or any person violates his rights, access to justice is of great significance. Access to justice refers to the ability of the citizens to use formal justice institutions to obtain the redressal with respect to their common problems. State plays an important role in administration of justice. One of the most important functions of the state is administration of justice. That means it is the duty of the state to protect rights and duties of the public. For this purpose, state appoints various authorities to adjudicate the rights and enforce the duties. For this purpose, the state established a well-organized judicial system. The purpose of judiciary is protection and enforcement of rights and to punish wrongdoers. Any person violates the rights of citizens, in that case the court can punish the wrongdoer and they can try to protect the rights of individuals. Justice delivery we can broadly divide into two categories. One is adversarial, the other is inquisitorial. Let us look into meaning for the terms adversarial and inquisitorial. Adversarial system aims to get a truth through open competition between prosecution and defense. And the counsels, they produce evidence before the court, they advance their arguments before the court. Based on that, the judge will pronounce the judgment. Inquisitorial system aim to get the truth through extensive investigations and examination of evidence. And adversarial system is also known as formal justice delivery system. In this system, public will access justice through state administered agencies. This system involves three important authorities: judiciary, lawyers and administrative authorities. All these authorities follow the procedure laid down by the law and they decide the disputes among the parties. Adversarial system is based upon predetermined substantive law and procedural law depends upon rules of evidence. The term judicial relating to judgment in the court. Judge functions as per the law, basing on the evidence produced before him and pronounce his judgment. Access to justice is available to the victim before the court is established by the state. The flowchart indicates various administrative authorities set up in administration of justice in India. For the purpose of convenience, all the authorities we can divide into two important categories, formal and informal. In this presentation, we are mainly focusing about formal authorities in administration of justice system. Formal authorities we can divide into three categories, court system, tribunals and other formal adjudicatory forums. When we refer to courts, we are referring to various hierarchy of courts established in India, that is highest court, Supreme Court, High Court and district courts. Again, district courts are divided into different kinds of courts, civil courts and criminal courts. The next important is tribunal. Tribunal is established with respect to separate subject matter. Other formal adjudicatory forum includes juvenile justice and family courts. Let us look into each authority separately and we will try to verify composition, appointment and jurisdiction of each formal administrative justice authorities. First, let us look into Supreme Court. Highest authority and apex court in India is Supreme Court. Presently, this court is situated in the capital territory, that is New Delhi. Supreme Court is a final court of appeal. From this, no appeal lies before any other authority in India. Judgment of Supreme Court is final, no appeal lies to any other authority. Appeal from High Court are preferred to Supreme Court. Appeal from District Court goes to High Court. Supreme Court is presided by Chief Justice of India and 25 other judges. Judges are appointed by the President of India in consultation with Chief Justice of India. Supreme Court has many benches. Mainly, the benches are divided into three categories, division bench, full bench and constitutional bench. Division bench mainly consists of 2 judges, full bench includes 3 to 5 judges, constitutional bench depends upon importance of the matter, it may consist of 5 to 7 judges. Now let us look into jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is having 5 kinds of jurisdiction: virginal jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, writ jurisdiction and finally supervisory jurisdiction. Let us look into each kind of jurisdiction separately. Virginal jurisdiction, the Supreme Court will entertain the matters between one state and other state, between one state and 2 or more states, or between state and union. All these matters comes within the purview of virginal jurisdiction. The second kind of jurisdiction is appellate jurisdiction. In this situation, the Supreme Court will hear all the matters, civil, criminal or constitutional matters. Beside this, a person can approach Supreme Court by appeal on the grounds of special petition. Advisory jurisdiction, Supreme Court will advise the President of India with respect to any matter referred by the President of India for court's advice. Writ jurisdiction, in case of violation of fundamental right, any person or any public spirited person can approach the court and request the court to award appropriate remedy. The court will award the remedy in the nature of writ or any order in the nature of writ under Article 32. Supreme Court can issue any one of the 5 writs: mandamus, habeas corpus, certiorari, prohibition and quo warranto. Depends on the remedy, depends on the writ requested, the court will grant appropriate writ and may issue any appropriate order in the nature of writ with respect to violation of fundamental rights. Finally, supervisory jurisdiction. Supreme Court also supervise subordinate courts only as per Article 227 of the Indian Constitution. Appeals. Appeal from High Court are allowed to Supreme Court only if the matter is of great importance, subject matter deals with constitutional, and if the High Court grants a certificate. In the absence of certificate, from the High Court, person can prefer appeal to Supreme Court by filing special leave petition. After going through the highest authority, that is Supreme Court, now let us look into High Court. Every state can have one High Court. Sometimes two states may have one High Court, or sometimes High Court may sit in benches in other states. High Court is the highest court in the state. High Court can have one Chief Justice and other judges. Judges are appointed by President in consultation with Chief Justice of India, Governor of the state, and Chief Justice of the state. High Court is saying four kinds of jurisdiction: virginal jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, court of revision, and writ jurisdiction. Virginal jurisdiction includes High Court can entertain all the matters which are civil, criminal, or admiralty in nature. Appellate jurisdiction: appeal from subordinate court and tribunals within the state are preferred to High Court. Court of revision, and this court will act as revision court with respect to subordinate courts and tribunals. Any matter within the state against the subordinate court or tribunal can be revised by High Court within its territory. Finally, writ jurisdiction. In case of violation of fundamental rights, any person can approach the Supreme Court and he can request for any writ available under Article 226. High Court also can award any 5 kinds of writ which we are already mentioned. After going through High Court, let us look into remedies available with respect to formal justice administration. Victim can avail remedy which is in the nature of civil justice or criminal justice. In order to obtain this remedy, the victim has to approach appropriate court for such remedy. Civil justice is administered by civil court and criminal justice is administered by criminal court. Whenever there is violation of a legal right, individual person can avail civil remedy before the civil court. The affected person alone can approach the civil court to avail the remedy. Whenever there is violation of rights which are common to the society or to the public, the person can avail criminal remedy and he has to approach criminal court. First, let us look into civil courts. Civil courts are employed to try all the cases which are civil in nature. High Court at the highest court at district level is the district court. Hierarchy of civil courts includes civil court of virginal jurisdiction, civil court of first appellate jurisdiction, civil court of second appeal, civil court of final court of appeal. The flowchart highlights hierarchy of civil courts within the state. Civil courts at the district level, highest court is district court headed by district judge, civil judge senior division, civil judge junior division, and municipal court. Jurisdiction of civil courts: civil litigation to be filed before appropriate civil court. It may be senior division or junior division, depends upon the pecuniary jurisdiction. District judge and civil judge senior division can try matters like testamentary, divorce cases, probate proceedings, and insolvency matters. Any person who approaches a civil court, he can avail any one of the following remedies: payment of debt, damages, injunction, restitution, specific performance. Let us look into each remedy separately. Civil court issues orders for pecuniary compensation to the plaintiff in respect of damages which has suffered due to defendant wrongful act. If defendant commits any wrongful act, if the plaintiff suffers any loss, plaintiff can request the civil court to grant damages. Second remedy is injunction. Civil court can order injunction informing the defendant to do or not to do a particular act. For example, if a person is dumping garbage in your premises, if you know the person you can file a case against the person and you can request the court to grant injunction. Court will grant injunction in front of the person not to dump garbage in your premises. The third remedy, restitution. In this case, the defendant is compelled to give up or restore the pecuniary value or some benefit which has wrongfully obtained by causing damage to the plaintiff. Finally, specific performance means whereby the defendant is compelled to pay a debt or to perform the contract or restore the land or property wrongfully taken or detained. Means any person wrongfully having possession of property or land, court can inform the person or court can issue a remedy which is known as specific performance. It may also include restraining the defendant from committing or continuing nuisance or trespass or repay money received by mistake or obtained by fraud. And in case of trespass by other persons, court can inform the person not to enter or not to continue such act, and the remedy is known as specific performance. After going through civil court and its jurisdiction, let us begin to criminal justice administration in India. Crime is the wrong against the community or against the public. Criminal cases are normally filed by the state. If a person approaches criminal court, the remedy is imprisonment and fine. Criminal trial results in conviction or acquittal of the accused person. Highest court at the district level is Sessions Court. The flowchart indicates hierarchy of criminal courts at district level. Highest court is Sessions Court. The next is Judicial Magistrate first class and Judicial Magistrate second class. Now let us begin to composition of criminal courts. It is the duty of the state government to establish a court of session for every sessions division within the district. This court shall be presided by a judge to be appointed by High Court. High Court may appoint additional session judges and assistant session judges to exercise the jurisdiction of the Court of Sessions. In metropolitan areas, the state may establish separate court known as Metropolitan Magistrate Court. Now let us look into jurisdiction of Sessions Judge and Additional Sessions Judge. These judges may pass any sentence authorized by law. The sentence may be death sentence. So any sentence of death passed by any such judge shall be subjected to confirmation by the High Court. So Session Judge and Additional Session Judge can pass any sentence including death, but in case of death sentence, the order has to be confirmed by the High Court. They can pass any sentence only in case of death. It has to be confirmed by High Court of appropriate state. Let us look into Judicial Magistrate first class. In every district, there shall be a court of Judicial Magistrate first class and second class. In such places, as the state government may, after the consultation with the High Court, by notification specify. Let us look into jurisdiction of JMFC and JMSC. According to Section 29, Clause 2 of Criminal Procedure Code 1973, Judicial Magistrate first class may pass a sentence of imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or of fine not exceeding 5,000 rupees or of both. The Judicial Magistrate second class may pass a sentence of imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year or fine not exceeding 1,000 rupees or with both. The next authority is Chief Judicial Magistrate. In every district, High Court shall appoint a Judicial Magistrate of first class to be the Chief Judicial Magistrate, that is the Court of Chief Judicial Magistrate. As per Section 12, Clause 1 of CRPC 1973, Chief Judicial Magistrate may pass any sentence authorized by law except a sentence of death or imprisonment for life or imprisonment for a term exceeding 7 years. That means this magistrate can pass any sentence below 7 years imprisonment. After going through, authorities at district level, state level and national level, now let us into the next category of formal justice administrative authorities, that is tribunals. Numerous quasi-judicial authorities are involved in disputes resolution in India. Their powers are limited to the issue concerned. Administrative agency may hold a formal hearing if required by the law. Formal hearing includes parties will present their testimonies, they produce evidence before the authorities followed by arguments. These quasi-judicial bodies are the tribunals and regulators. Tribunals are constituted as per relevant statutory provisions and area concern as an alternative forum for redressal of grievances and adjudication of disputes other than the courts. The flowchart indicates various kinds of tribunals set up in India to deal with various subject matters. For example, the matters like service matters, environmental matters, company matters, motor vehicles. Service matters are dealt by separate tribunals like Central Administrative Tribunal and State Administrative Tribunal, and these tribunals deals with matters with respect to central government employees and state government employees respectively. In order to deal with environmental matters, Government of India has set up a separate authority known as National Green Tribunal. This tribunal mainly tried to dispose the matters with respect to environment as early as possible, because environment is one of the most important aspect in the present day situation. As a consequence, this NGT consists of experts in dealing with environment and they dispose the matter as early as possible. With respect to telecommunication matters are dealt by Telecom Regulatory Authority of India and TDSAT. With respect to motor vehicles, matters with respect to motor vehicles are dealt by Motor Vehicles Tribunal. Revenue matters are dealt by revenue tribunals or debt recovery tribunals. Tax matters are dealt separately with respect to income tax matters or sales tax matters, wherein income tax tribunals as well as sales tax tribunals. Lastly, other formal adjudicative forums available with respect to formal justice administration. Besides the courts and tribunals, we will have other fact-finding bodies or investigating agencies in administration of justice. Indian government established various authorities depends on the need and necessity. Investigation report is not binding on the government. Government will establish adjudicatory forums in investigation and inquiry with the matters, but the report submitted by such authority is not binding on the government. The following chart indicates other formal adjudicatory forum established in India to deal with various matters concerning with human rights, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe matters, women's matters dealing with women, matters dealing with minorities and children. In case of human rights, we are having two separate fact-finding authorities. At the state level, we are having State Human Rights Commission (SHRC). At the national level, we are having National Human Rights Commission. In order to deal with any matters affecting SC and ST or scheduled caste and scheduled tribe atrocities, any matter affecting SC and ST, the powers are given to SC/ST Commission to investigate and to inquire and submit a report to the government. Matters relating to females with respect to divorce or with respect to matters like dowry problems, cruelty, harassment by the husband, with respect to these matters, females can approach Women's Commission and Women's Commission will inquire into such matters. There is a separate commission known as Children's Commission. Matters dealing with children can be referred to this commission and this commission can inquire and submit a report. Finally, with respect to minority rights, there is a separate commission known as Minority Rights Commission. This commission can investigate, inquire, and it can submit the report to the government. As I mentioned that the report is not binding on the government. Now let us look into remedies with respect to formal justice system. Depends on the necessity and vulnerable group of persons. Various formal justice authorities are set up in India. These authorities are established to deal with specific matters with expertise in such matters. These authorities are known as special courts. Victim can approach the special court, he can avail appropriate remedy before the appropriate forum. Let us look into special courts established in India. The flowchart indicates or highlights the special courts which are functioning in the territory of India. Family courts, this court deals with family matters between husband, wife and children. And we are having a separate court known as NDPS court. This court mainly deals with matters with respect to narcotic drugs. Any person having possession of narcotic drug, if the police arrest him and files a case, the matter is referred to NDPS court. Matters between employee and employer in the factory or with respect to industry, all these matters are referred to labor court, because this labor court is disposing matters in speedy and as early as possible. Any person who is affected in the marketplace, or we can call him as consumer can approach appropriate forum in order to avail the remedy before the consumer court. Consumer courts also dispose the matters in a speedy manner. And we are having children's courts. Some states established separate courts to deal with matters which are affecting children. And besides children courts, in order to deal with juveniles, we are having separate authority known as Juvenile Justice Board. After going through various kinds of court system, tribunals and other adjudicatory forums, let us look into issues we are coming across with respect to formal justice administration. Formal access to justice is systematic in its approach. Aggrieved person can approach the appropriate court as per the remedy he requires. But the procedure followed in this system is time consuming and cumbersome. There is a lot of delay in administration of justice. Issues with respect to formal justice. Issues can be classified into the following categories. Presently, around 3 crores of cases are pending before the judiciary. They need to clear all this backlog. For this purpose, government has set up fast track courts. Still, the cases are pending before the court, because people are approaching the court every day and every hour and they are filing cases, and when backlog cases are pending, how to dispose the new cases, and they need on the part of the government to inform the fast track court to dispose the matter as early as possible. Otherwise, there will be delay in disposal of justice. Speedy disposal of cases. They need to dispose the cases as early as possible. Majority of the cases, procedure is complicated and people are not aware what procedure they should follow. As a consequence, need on the part of the government to simplify and inform the court to speed up the matters in administration of justice. They need to sensitize the advocates, because generally the advocates request the court for adjournments. They need to reduce the adjournment. For this purpose, a new amendment was made for the CPC, and government informed that court should not award more than 3 adjournments. But even today, judges are giving adjournments as per the request made by the advocates, and they need on the part of the government to restrict adjournments with respect to any matter which is in civil nature. Judges should maintain dignity and integrity in their profession. Nowadays, we are coming across that judges are involved in various scams. Need to bring dignity and integrity to the judicial system. Judges should incorporate honesty in their profession. After going through all these things, I'll conclude saying Indian judicial system is a mix of courts, tribunals, regulators and other formal adjudicatory forums. All these authorities work together as a part of integrated system in administration of justice to the needy victim. Victim can avail the remedy according to the need and situation. After going through today's presentation, let us summarize what we discussed in today's presentation. In the beginning, we started with purpose as well as need for justice system, various kinds of justice administration, and in this module, we mainly focused on formal justice system and we went through various hierarchy of authorities or courts established in India starting from Supreme Court, High Court and courts at district levels. Further, we discussed about various tribunals which are helpful in administration of justice in India. We have gone through various forums established by the government from time to time in adjudication of disputes with respect to people who are at grassroots or who are vulnerable in nature. Lastly, we discussed about various issues with respect to formal justice system. Thank you for your patient listening. I wish you all the best. Bye bye.